husband was ministering, the Father was ministering through my husband in reference to how we ought to relate to Him. I often, every time I hear that, I often think of, father and his children's relationship, just like in the natural with my natural dad, and the things that he was teaching me to stay away from things that would bring me hurt or disappointment. And at the times that I did not obey or walk in what my natural father was trying to share or convey with me, I see the trouble come. And it's just like, with our Heavenly Father, who's the Father of all fathers, and it's an intimacy there, and it's a trust there. Because I know with my natural dad, if he said something to me as his child, I trusted that. I didn't have to question it. I trusted that what he said that he was going to do, he did. Whatever it was that he was sharing with me or instructing me to do, I had to trust it. Now, did I obey all the time? No. That was, the times I was trying to obey myself or what I thought would be good or right. And I think it's the same thing that we all do, even with our Heavenly Father. I know I have, where, I want to do what He's telling me to do, but then the logic tries to kick in and be like, okay, but that doesn't make sense. Maybe I could just do it this way. But I realized that each time I try to even stare a little bit, I see something and then I can get back on track, because it's like, okay, let me take a pause moment here. Because every day I'm set with the decision to, am I going to obey my Heavenly Father, or am I going to obey somebody else other than His voice or what He's instructing me or telling me to do? Even, for example, just recently, even in my workplace, there's two different levels where I work. There's two different levels in our assignments, and I came in at the lower level, and so I work hard, and I come in at, like my husband said with me, just go to work, do your job, and go. That's your main focus. About making friends or people sharing stuff with you that you don't need to talk about or know or whatever. And I did that. I come in, I do my work, I work hard, and we would get emails from the management like, hey, listen, you gotta make these numbers. You gotta, because it's a production environment. And I'm like, okay. So instead of getting offended at the emails, which, in the flesh you want to get offended because you're like, I'm working hard, I had to step back, look at that email and look at it and just say thank you. That's my only response. Okay, thank you. And that's it. Meaning that, no, thank you for sharing that information with me. I know you're the manager and so forth, but I don't work for you. I work for my Father, and He sees what I do. I've been putting out 110%. I've been giving it all that I got. And I said, I'm working hard. And the Father started giving me wisdom on how to, increase my productivity. He started giving me wisdom to say, okay, I have a team lead. Let me utilize my team lead to my advantage, whereby I can get tips and information on how to get this job done effectively, and not just efficiently and effectively, but also with quality. And the quality work is there, and the increase is there, and the quickness is there. And so as a result, next thing I know, I get a call in the office from the management. But I didn't go with the thought process of, oh boy, I'm in trouble. I went with the thought process. I took my pen and my paper, and I went with the thought process like, whatever it is something I'm about to learn. I get there, and he's given another project on top of what I was already doing. So it was like, in addition to what you're doing, I'm giving you this other project to help out with. And I thought that was the greatest honor for the Father to give to me, and to show me that type of favor, whereby He's giving me a project on top of what I'm already doing. So He's saying, what I was hearing was, hey, you're doing a great job in what you're doing right here, and since you're doing such a great job, we need help in this area. We're also going to want you to do that in addition to what you're already doing. And I saw the payoff of me looking at this like, you know what, no one here takes care of me but my Father. And because he's my Father, I work for him. I work for him behind the scenes. When no one else sees what I'm doing, he sees what I'm doing. And because he sees, he's dealing with the heart of those that are in an authoritative position for me. And I'm watching it, because you had some that were getting, okay, we're going to call us in the room. Some of you are going to have your pay affected, where the pay is going to increase and so forth. And I started thinking, wow. Then I started seeing people move into different departments, like, wow. And I started sharing with my husband. And then I had to get back to, no, I work for my Heavenly Father. It doesn't matter what's going on with everybody else. I have to focus on what's going on with me. And what's going on with me is I'm doing the best that I'm doing the best in the Lord. And I'm giving it my all. And the Father gives the increase. And I had to snap out of it because the enemy was trying to get my mind off of what I was doing and focusing on what I was hired to do, and looking at what was going on with other people. And after talking with my husband about it, and I say, honey, something in my mind and in my flesh, I had these thoughts coming to me that I was battling with, where it was like, see me, don't you see me? I'm working hard, see me, choose me, because I've seen everybody getting chose to go into teams and different things like that. Or true. And I had to battle that. And I had to stop and say, okay, wait a minute. No. My Father gives the increase, and he has me here, and he's positioning me for a reason. And I have to accept that. I don't have to know. And I was sharing that with my husband. He said, you're absolutely right. And right after we had that moment of conversation, the next day I come into work and I got great news from my team lead. And she's like, we're going to, I've submitted your name to go to that higher level. And so when the management goes to her, she is pushing for me to go to that higher level, because like I said, there were 2 levels that we came in at. Now she's pushing me to go to that higher level, which will cause the increase, the everything. And I said, wow, I had to smile, because that was the Father smiling at me and on me, and just showing me that when I put it into his hands and I trust him like children should trust their father, like just go out there and just trust that he's doing and he knows what's best for me. Not me knowing what's best for me, but him knowing what's best for me. Because I knew that when I came in, I should have came in at the higher level. At least that was my thought process, because of my experience and in the field and so forth. But the Father didn't have it that way. And as time progressed, and my husband started revealing to me what the Father was doing, and I started seeing it, I'm like, oh, so that's why our Father did it the way he did it. He did it in a back-ended way. And I wasn't seeing that before in the beginning. But I accepted it. I accepted that he knew exactly what he was doing, and just go with the flow. Now, it would be nice to say that it's always peaches and creams and I always go with the flow of the Lord and I always doing exactly what he says. Not always. There are times I miss it. However, it's getting faster and faster, or quicker and quicker, for me to get back on track and to take my eyes off of what I don't need to have my eyes on, or even my mouth on what I don't need to put my mouth on, even in my ear what I don't need to hear, and get back in focus and in line with my Heavenly Father, because I miss it at times with my husband. And it's just trying to reason, always trying to reason at times. And sometimes you don't need to. At times I don't have to reason. I just have to just say okay and let it go. So I appreciate the message, and that the Father is sharing, to really be awakened to the fact that He is our Heavenly Father. He's not just a sovereign God, but He's also our Heavenly Father when we accept Him as such, and accepting Him in that, loving Him the way that He wants us to love Him, and not the way that I think I should love Him. Because the way He expects us to love Him is totally, absolutely not what we think. It isn't what we think. To love Him, what I'm learning from my husband and through my husband in our relationship, is the love comes in you trusting our Heavenly Father, trusting my Heavenly Father in His voice, trusting in His voice, and actually operating and walking and doing what He is instructing. And to our Heavenly Father, that's the greatest love that we could ever display or give to Him, is to really have that much faith and trust in Him that we don't have to question what He's doing, but just do what He's instructing or He's guiding us to do, to just do it even whether or not it makes sense or not. And to have that intimacy with Him in such a way that at times He doesn't mind us reasoning, like my husband told me. The Father doesn't mind us reasoning, but when He says no or yes to something, then you have to stop it at that point. That means He has shut the door for any type of reasoning. So I'm getting it, and I appreciate the Father's love, His long suffering, His loving kindness, because He was very kind to me in the time that, in that short time that I was in that role or in that position, and to see Him just work over the hearts of those that are in that type of that type of power where I work, I just saw just pure kindness and love towards me, and kind of sort of like a reward that He wants to give to me for just looking to Him in that place, and not looking to these people as if they're my God, or as if they're my Father, or as if they're the ones that can bring me down or bring me up. It's not them. It's my Father that's doing it. He's doing the work, and He's just utilizing them to do it. And so I see that now, and I'm for that I am grateful. So here's my husband.